Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. What if I told you that JASMY is going to be deflationary? Would that get you excited like me? Well, it is, and I'm going to share with you how that's going to happen. And I've got a lot more news and information that you need to hear. And I think if you hear me out, that you will be just like me and you'll come to the conclusion it's time to get to stacking. Now, none of this is financial advice, but stay with me. I'm going to give you that information and I'm going to clarify some of the misinformation or the misunderstandings about the historical supply and price of JASMY, because I know a lot of people didn't understand that in my past video, including me. Well, I got some more information about that, and then we'll take a look at the chart and see if it's time to get to stacking. Now let's get into it. If you're not familiar with JASMY, go to jasmy.co, surf around, and definitely watch this video that I'm about to talk to you about. Now, to simplify what JASMY does is it's creating a Web3 protocol for the future where we can control 100% of our information and data about us. Now, I want you to think about how big this type project could be. When we take our data away from Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all those major corporations that have our information and sell it, imagine how big the ecosystems that get that data and the control of that data, which is me and you, how big those projects can get. And JASMY is on the front line of making that happen. Now check this out, guys. Those trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that corporations like Google make, that's going to go away in the future. And they're going to have to pay for our data. Now here's how JASMY's set up to simplify it. They have what they call a data locker. The more we contribute into our locker, we get paid in JASMY tokens. Now, check this out. We have 100% control. Who gets to see it, what they get to see, when, how much, all that. Now, when a major corporation wants to advertise to us or a government wants our data, they're going to have to pay for it. Well, we kind of get kickback from that in JASMY tokens. Guys, that gets me excited. Now, I'm sure we're not going to get rich off of that, and it's probably going to be like 0.00001 of a penny, but those will add up, and it's something. And the best thing about it is we control it. That if nothing else, forget the money, we get to be in control of who gets our information. I'm excited about that. Now, imagine this. In this video, it basically illustrates someone landing on a plane. So landing from a plane. So imagine landing at an airport and you have an app and you can control your data and you can cut it on and off. Well, you decide to keep it off. Now you're going to walk through the airport, no advertisements, nothing. If you need a rental car, you'll go figure it out or Google it or whatever access we are using in the future. If you need food or hotel, you'll just figure it out. Or you can unlock your data that is needed for, say, renting a hotel room or running an ad for a car rental or food. Now, that person is walking off the airplane and boom, he gets a pop-up or whatever, a notification that if he's hungry or if they're hungry, they can stop and get, say, 20% off of a certain meal or 25% off car rentals if they sign up in the next 10 minutes and you're walking right by the car rental. Or if you need a hotel for the night, boom, 15% off, whatever. That's what the future's going to look like, and we are 100% in control of that. Now, think about this, guys. Once that adoption is mainstream, every time you see a notification, whereas now it kind of irritates us, we're going to know, boom, I just made a little bit of money, And the ecosystem is growing because they had to pay, not only me, but they have to pay for the JASMY token to be able to unlock my information and send me that advertisement. Now, another thing that's really cool, and this is the tie-in to AI, these corporations are going to take that data and use AI to figure out basically the smart marketing. So it's indirectly tied to the future of AI. That's another exciting thing. Now, we'll get into how that ties into being deflationary in a minute. But here's some other news that is pretty exciting. They just rolled out their Platinum Data Happiness Discovery Project, where they are recruiting tens of thousands of people around the world. I'm assuming it's kind of like a test net where they're rolling out some of the things that they want to get people to take a look at, and then once they roll it out, it can be mainstream adoption and it'll be part of the JASMY ecosystem. Now, they have partnered with a company called Cahoots. I know that's not the name. I can't pronounce it, but that's what we're going to call it. Now, that's pretty exciting as well. Now, why is that? This is a partnership. These are the type partnerships that you want, guys. The Cahoots Corporation basically are members of the Computer Science Laboratory of Sony. It's kind of a spinoff. Those guys are the real deal, guys. Now check this out. If that's not enough, the partnerships. So those guys spun off from Sony. Well, Sony's a partner. So is the Tokyo National Museum and Hitachi. Guys, this is a big deal in my opinion. I love this project. I really do. As you can tell, I'm excited about it. Now, let's get into how it can be deflationary. Now, I got this from Kirk Finance, K-I-R, on Twitter. And guys, he's a pretty good source of JASMY information. Shout out to him. Now, long story short, this is what the roadmap is going to look like. Now, they have a different level that the corporations can use to buy our data, and it's the platinum data, right? So they're going to buy blocks of data, huge blocks. Now, they're probably going to tie that out up year to year would be my educated guess, because most major corporations set a budget for everything for a year and they use that. So I'm thinking you're probably going to have some volatility whenever the corporations buy and and then they use up their JASMY over time. But here's the rollout of JASMY in the fourth quarter of this year. They believe that these corporations are going to lock up their JASMY up to 70% of the supply in the future, and they expect all that to happen by 2026. Now, I know we are really, really early, but I want you to think about this, guys. If they hit that mark of 70%, JASMY will absolutely skyrocket. Again, not financial advice, it's just information. Now, it could also happen before 2026. Now, for whatever this worth, guys, not only are we early in JASMY, which is what we want, but guys, we are still crazy early in Web3, blockchain, and in the future of everything that's coming down the pipe. Now, let's take a look at the chart. Now, if you look at this historical chart, this one shows that JASMY went to like 33 cents. Now, I went back in my last video because I was getting like right at $5 and I didn't understand the difference. And everywhere I went, I almost got a different price. So here's what happened. JASMY did hit, and I'm doing this part by memory of my last video, right at $5. Now, this part no one probably appreciates, but it is what it is. They had a very, very, very small supply when they launched. And then after it hit those record numbers and those big numbers, all the the early adopters and the partners and the team and all those guys, they got to sell their shares, and then it just crashed and the rest of the world got to buy it. But a lot of people bought it at those big numbers. So I'm sure there's some people that are really into JASMY right now that are not happy about where they got in at. Now, from doing my research, it was launched by a corporation, and a handful of people had control of the supply and everything. Well, now that has changed, and it is owned by the management, and the management basically have 100% control. It's not the corporation, which quite frankly, guys, had a bad reputation. So it's kind of like two different entities, and take that as whatever, information, and use that ever how you can, because I don't think that is a concern. But as I dug into this project, there were a lot of people that tweeted out that price history and the fact that some of the people that started JASMY pretty suspect, for whatever that's worth. But I'm good with this project, and here's my thoughts now. If you look at what it did in the past 90 days, guys, it had a great run, and then it started to turn around in the last 30. Now, last week, it still made a pretty good pullback, and it looks like today it's down a little bit, but it's probably going to go lower and lower, which that's what I want, guys. Now, this is just my thoughts, but I want this thing to just keep going down because I think it's a legit project. I think it's going to make it through this bear run. So just keep that in mind. And any project, guys, that's the number one thing. Does it have real world utility? Does it have a future? And if the answers to that are yes, I want it to fall apart where my money goes a long way. That's where the money's made. Not FOMOing in like probably a lot of people did when it started to rally at the first of the year, just like all these tokens. Everybody's like the bottom's in. Well, if you'd been stacking on the ugly days, you wouldn't have to be right. But now a lot of people, not only in JASMY, but in Bitcoin and everything, they bought 20, 30% higher or more in the last month or so because they FOMO'd in trying to wait and call the bottom. Just keep stacking, guys, is my suggestion, not financial advice. But for me, like right now, I'm just going to keep watching it till I think it's found the bottom. And then I'll start dollar cost averaging into JASMY. Because I personally think something's going to break in our economy, the global economy and the American economy. Then that's the time to load the boat. But I could be wrong. There's a small, and I mean small, chance that we have a soft landing. But I don't think so. But I don't want to miss it because, guys, even if you buy and load the boat right here at these projects in the next bull run, whether it's JASMY or any project that has a future, it's going to be insignificant. That's my thoughts on that. Now, for whatever it's worth, guys, before I tell you to hit that like button and subscribe and all that good stuff, I want to tell you to make sure you go watch my Dilithium video. I'm telling you, it's a project that we're early on. It's a gaming AI project, and I'm going to put it at the end of every one of my videos. I really think it's one of the best projects I've uncovered, bar none. So I'm going to leave a link down below, and you'll be able to find it on the screen at the end of this video. Go check it out if you want a high risk reward type project that could maybe 100x or way more. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Hit that like button, come back and be part of this community. And let me know your thoughts about JASMY, Dilithium, and any other great project, especially with a high risk reward that I might want to take a look at. That's all I got, guys. Come back and be part of this community. Take care.